Hi everyone, good morning. It's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. Hope you're having a great day today. Good morning, wherever you are in this beautiful world of ours. I'm conscious that we have women all over the world popping up at all different times of the day and night. So wherever you are right now, just hope you're doing great. Hope that you're having a wonderful morning or afternoon and that you've done something special for yourself today, that you've actually, taken care of yourself and enjoyed these years. There's enough challenges that we have all around us. So hope that, we can only take care of the things that we can control and respond in a way that is positive. I'm a big believer in the value of just genuine human kindness as the foundation for all behavior, and that we all have it in us, to just to give back, just in simple engagements, simple conversations, just in the way we treat each other. And I feel particularly happy that 60 and Me as a community seems to bring out that good quality in people. I know we have differences, we have things that we don't agree on, but there's something about our agreement, almost a silent agreement, that we are here to support and to help one another, and just to be friends in this crazy time that we're all finding ourselves in. Anyway, cup of tea time. I love my Twinings tea. I've always loved Twinings. They make great English breakfast in Earl Grey, but they've also started to make a new line of kind of fruity teas. This one's called Fresh and Fruity, and it's got in it, I have to look, it's got cranberry, raspberry, and elderflower. Yeah, it's a really nice tea. So that's my fresh and fruity for the morning. Hope you've got a cup of tea or coffee, something that stimulates you, makes you feel alive and well. And let's just sit back and have a chat, because there's something I wanted to talk to you about today. It was actually raised by one of our bloggers, Lori Martinek, and she talks about, worrying about getting older. I think as you get a little older, things happen that make us aware that, we are in this phase of our lives where our bodies aren't perfect. We've got little funky things going on with our wrinkles and tummies and metabolism, and also our attitude to things. And she talks about the fact that it's true that most couples they're going to have the potential of being alone, that your husband might die before you. Men don't live as long as us women, and if you're in a partnership or in a close friendship, it's likely that you're going to be alone one day. And that's something that terrifies some people, and others are more relaxed about. Lori has broken it down really into 4 things that worry her. And I think that that's a really practical way to look at what could be possibly solo living in your future. And maybe you can identify with these, any one or all of these 4 things. The first thing is that you're going to outlive your money or your ability to earn money. It's a big one. Second is losing your health or mobility. And that actually, for Lori, is more important than the first one. And I tend to agree. I was actually on this Viking cruise, as you all know, a couple of weeks ago, and I was so struck by the fact that there were lots of people in our age group, 60s and 70s, some younger, who were having real mobility issues. Genuine, problems with moving around, walking, getting from place to place. And of course, the cruise is perfect for this because you can sit and relax, and it's kind of like a bubble. You're in this amazing world. But the fact is, keeping healthy and staying mobile, super important. And I think I worry about that sometimes myself. The next thing is, will I die alone without family or friends? This is a really tricky one because when we ask women in our community, how do you feel about your passing? Most women say, not afraid of the act itself, but I'm afraid of how it's going to impact other people, and how it's going to play out, just the uncertainty. And I think that's the worry that Lori highlights, which is, am I going to die by myself, alone, or without my friends and family? And the final one, which I think is more abstract, but also just as important, and that is, I worry about how I'll be remembered. So those are the 4 things that Lori talks about, and I want to just go into them kind of one at a time, and then we can just have a chat about it, because I'm sure that in that mix of things to worry about, you've thought about one or all of them. So let's go through and see if we can maybe help each other get a perspective on it. Okay, so the first thing is, will I outlive my money? All right. So this is a big one because a lot of women in their 60s and 70s now have had financial difficulties because of the crash in 2008 or other times, family situations, just things that have happened, things outside your control. And, it's like we've got, if we're healthy right now, we've got 3 decades of retirement left. 3 decades, and not being able to do the things you want or to have the money to treat yourself to the lifestyle that you want is challenging. So I think it's really important that you start, we've talked about this before, that you start early, living below your means. Using the opportunity to save a little for the travel or the special gift or the little family reunion or whatever you want to support and pay for, just to live below your means. And that may mean doing one other thing, which is redefining your priorities. What's important to you in the great scheme of things? What do you really want to spend your money on? Maybe you need to just cut back on food, luxury foods, and make your own things. Shop at a market. Do things to cut the cost. Or just, looking at a part-time job. And of course, nobody wants to work in retirement. Well, that's not true because I love it. And I know lots of women do love to work in retirement or just work full stop. But there are some that don't really want to. I've done it. I've worked hard, 50 years, finished. And that may be the way your mind is working, but the reality is having an extra $100 a week would really make a difference. It seems like something that you didn't even think about, that you didn't even think you'd be thinking about. Having an extra $100, what's that? I mean, when you were earning. But it can mean a lot if you don't have it. So that's kind of a new way to kind of think about it. But just remain active, involved and engaged. That's the first thing that's going to help you to save money, maybe share expenses with someone, get a roommate. There's all kinds of different options you've got. The next thing is, will I stay healthy? Okay, so we know now that before I even start that this is not a topic that a lot of us want to talk about, but it is important. It's under your control. It really, honestly, is the one thing that's in your control. It doesn't require money. It doesn't require anything but your effort, and of course, good genes and good health. I mean, I'm not minimizing the fact that a lot of people have illnesses that they just didn't even plan. Who plans for it? And who really are dealing with some situations that are very, very difficult. And my heart goes out to those people, and we're here for you. We really, truly are. And if you've got a situation that you want to chat about more privately, go up to our forum to 60andme.com/conversations, and then you can chat up there with people in a little bit more private way. Still have to sign in with Facebook because that gives us protection. But anyway, the point is, if you're dealing with an illness, it's not your fault. Obviously, do your best. But if you're worried about your health holding out until you get older, there are obviously things you can do. Exercise, healthy food, stop smoking, drink lots of water, have a positive mental attitude, keep your brain healthy, do meditation or some kind of mindfulness. But those are things, that are in your control. And the question, will I stay healthy, barring any unforeseen situations, is down to you. So it's really something that you can make a choice about. Another thing now, will I die alone? Well, the idea of living with others in some kind of housing arrangement becomes more appealing when you think about this. Because even if you have children and friends, who are still obviously living, they're not going to be by your side always. They are living their own lives, they're raising their own families, working hard to do the things that you did, when you were younger. So you can't really expect them to be there by your side all the time. So maybe living in a group is a good, solution. I think these are going to increase actually over the next few years too, these co-housing arrangements. And of course, living in a retirement home or an assisted living location. No, it may not be what you want, but it may be what's the best for you. If you have a problem with your health or you feel like you need a little company, that may be a solution. There's all the social aspects that sort of line up with your own personal desire, which may be a little bit different. The social isolation that you get by living by yourself, if that's the situation you find yourself in, can be tricky. So I think that's really important, is having a strong social network more broadly with your family. If you can stay close and stay connected to one another. Thank goodness for Skype and all those WhatsApp and wonderful tools. But also try to develop your social network locally. And this is where girlfriends come in so handy. It's really cool to have a girlfriend or a group of women friends who you can hang out with, and you can share your stories with, share your challenges with, and that may be one that in its own way leads to a longer and healthier life. I think that's super important. So, will I die alone? Well, again, it's a choice. You can. A lot of women say, "I love living alone. Totally cool. I love my company." But remember that when you get older, and you're not able to move around so much, perhaps, just something to think about. I mean, these are not worries to worry about. These are things to think about and to plan for. So, social engagement is absolutely the most important thing to remember. That so you can go a long way with that. Okay, so the final worry that Laurie talks about, which is one that I think we all think about, how will I be remembered? What are the words that you want people to describe you, when you're gone? I mean, of course, they're going to remember you as a parent, as a mom, as a friend. Those are lifelong relationships that you're always going to be remembered by them for the things that you shared together, the things that you learned together, you bumped along in life and supported one another. Those, you're always going to be remembered for that. Maybe because you were, you had a certain quality that really stayed with people, that was something that you taught your children that they never forgot, or a part of your personality that was so endearing to them or to your friends. But to be remembered, I think, in the bigger sense, is to do things now that you love to do. Things that are expressive of your priorities, of your personality, and really to do things that will leave the world the kind of place that you want it to be, to leave it a better place. And I know that sounds so abstract and difficult to define, but what are the things that you think has it got to do with the environment, with animals, with the way that children are raised, with education? Has it got to do with social dynamics? Or perhaps it's something that you want to write. You want to tell a story about something that you've been fascinated with, so that your legacy becomes the passions that you developed in your life. And all I can say, and this is totally hands up based on my own experience, is just don't wait. Don't wait to pick up the pen and start writing. I've started writing more now than in the last few years, not because I want to write down things to be remembered, but I just want to put down in writing what's important to me, so that so people do know. I know. It's probably the most important thing. What inspires you is going to be the inspiration to others. So that's an important thing to remember, and that's what you'll be remembered for. So thank you, Laurie, for this really thoughtful article, and also for getting us to think about these worries. I remember when my little grandson was growing up, he always say, "Are you a warrior or a worrier? Do you worry or are you a warrior?" And I think women in our 60s do worry. We have reason to. We've seen so much happen in life that has been bumpy and that has taught us tough lessons. But we also are warriors. Think of all the things you've done, all that you've accomplished, all the things you've dealt with, and be a warrior as you go into your 60s and 70s, and be strong. So I would like to know, for you, what is the one thing that you worry about? Of those four things, which is the one that's most on your mind? Be really interested to have a conversation. And if you see someone is struggling there or needs a little bit of support, give her a hug. We do hugs on our Facebook page, no problem. Okay, everyone, so tell us what's on your mind as you're getting a little older, and let's have a wonderful conversation. Thanks again for being here, for your support, your kindness, for who you are inside, and just for being part of this wonderful community. Take very good care, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye for now.